it isn't a Halloween movie night if the Michael Myers movies aren't on your list. Despite having Halloween in its name, this franchise has become a timeless classic you can watch any time of the year. It's not just a Halloween movie, it's a full-on thriller on its own that'll have you glued to your seat in utter anticipation. Stick around because in this video we'll be breaking down why Halloween Kills is the best thriller ever. First up, the nitty-gritty. Okay, first, let's get this straight. There's been a lot of Halloween movies, and the list is probably ending with the last movie called Halloween Ends, premiering in October 2022. Halloween Kills definitely boosted up everyone's morale with its gut punch thrill though, enough to distract us from the imminent end of the franchise actually. Even though the message of the films at the end is a simple don't mess with evil, the movies go so much deeper than that. You usually don't expect a slasher flick to be packed with meaning. They're mostly about the adrenaline rush, gripping the edge of your seat, all of that. Halloween, of course, fulfills this requirement of any great thriller because it gets you so emotionally invested. Starting off with Michael Myers, the archetype of the scariest serial killer, the movie really takes it up a notch. First off, his origins are scary enough. A psychopathic murderer since childhood, wrecking the lives of innocent people? If that doesn't send a chill down your spine, we don't know what will. Of course, he returns to Halloween Kills after Deputy Hawkins refuses to execute him. This time, we really get to see the amount of damage he's done throughout all the years. Tommy Doyle celebrates having survived 40 years since Myers attacked him and his babysitter. Jamie Lee Curtis makes a comeback as Laurie, struggling with PTSD from the attack, and things escalate into a high-speed chase. Typical of thrillers, no? Not quite, because this movie really raises the tensions with its history. Next we have Fighting Back. The director, David Gordon Green, switches up the tone for this one. Usually, slasher flicks are motivated by running from the killer. Most of the previous Halloween movies have been centered around this too. Not in Halloween Kills though. Of course, we're still terrified of the fact that Myers escaped his facility and is out for blood again, but we don't know where he could be lurking. This time, the town of Haddonfield takes the opposite direction. They form a mob to track down Myers and end his reign of terror once and for all. It's pretty gutsy, especially since it's on the anniversary of all his killings since 1978. It turns into a vigilante-style slasher where Tommy Doyle is constantly on the run to figure out where Myers has escaped to. Gordon Green really went out of his way with the pacing here. It's all fast, but you never feel like you're losing sight of the plot. It balances out sweetly with some heart-to-heart moments between Laurie and Hawkins that really gives this movie a more intimate feeling. You genuinely have time to empathize with these characters and all the relationships they've lost at the hands of Myers. And now for the emotion and bloodlust. These two are a feisty pair, and they definitely are the stars of Halloween Kills. We get to see full-on mob action in this movie, which is pretty new for a Halloween movie. Some people might say that it's stupid to go after the monster or killer in a scary movie, but that doesn't apply here. By showing the lives and generations wrecked by Michael Myers' homicidal rampage, we see how Doyle needed to take action. He really couldn't sit back and watch him destroy more lives. This heroic sentiment is what gives Halloween Kills a cutting-edge thrill, because, let's be honest, the usual one-sided chase in thriller movies can get predictable, right? For those who want a fresher adrenaline rush, this movie's got you covered. The mob even has their own slogan. Well, they chant, "Evil dies tonight," out on the streets with their weapons. You'd think that they'd find him, especially since he's wholly outnumbered. But just when you think they're winning, they're actually not. Gordon Green times these moments so perfectly that you can feel your heart drop into your stomach. The political undertones shine through really uniquely. You can see Gordon Green's influence all over this one, with the mob scenes referring to recent instances in America that scream mob mentality. Anyone who likes to break down allegories in films will have a blast with this one because it's chock full of them. Up next, exploring past trauma. What's a Halloween movie without Jamie Lee Curtis? She's the main face of the movie next to Michael Myers, and she takes the spotlight here. The director treats her with the sensitivity of a well-thought-out drama, and that actually adds to the thrill aspect of it all. Other than Jamie Lee Curtis's amazing acting, we really get a genuine blast from the past with this movie. All the actors reprise their roles from 40 years ago. Even the smaller characters, like Dr. Loomis's nurse, return in this movie. Any fan of the Halloween franchise would love the amount of Easter eggs in this movie. It'll make you nostalgic, sure. Pair that with the evident threat of the hometown murderer set loose, you'll find yourself biting your nails waiting for his next move. The entire town's in a frenzy, and it's all connected to their past. Intercutting scenes from 1978, when Myers went on his rampage, really drives it home. They don't overdo it with the flashbacks though, which is another reason why this movie works so well. Even even Michael Myers' past is referenced. And that's what makes it even scarier. It's not the fact that he's been a killer since childhood, it's that he keeps returning. And now, new action. The murders themselves are kind of inventive too. They're a bit too graphic to explain, but they'll definitely make you want to shut your eyes. Michael Myers isn't tied down to a knife anymore. He's a one-man killing machine. Well, we're not even sure if he is a human at this point. That's the one thing the movie leaves out, and that's the beauty of the Halloween franchise. Each movie leaves us wondering what exactly Myers is behind his mask and his clothing, because his actions definitely stray from human. And of course, what's a thriller without an awesome soundtrack? By awesome, we mean completely and utterly terrifying. John Carpenter comes back to compose the score for this movie, and when you put that side by side with the murders, it's absolutely jarring. Plus, Carpenter is the mastermind behind the first movie that started the whole franchise. For him to be on board the production just shows that he appreciates the direction it's taking. Thriller is best served hot, leaving you begging for seconds. We definitely get all of that in Halloween Kills. What's more, Myers isn't the only scary character in this film. The mob itself is full of bloodthirsty, angry people armed to the teeth with weapons. Every shot of them is framed to be unsettling. Seeing that much unfiltered rage definitely burrows a pit into the stomach. If anything, we get to see how killers bring out the monster in all of us. It becomes a two-sided chase with lots of blood spilled. A lot of the time it's accidental too. You begin questioning what sets you apart from a serial killer if you want them dead too. Finally, we have Myers' new face. Halloween Kills bends a lot of conventions, some of them their own even. In this one, we see Myers' mask half burnt and drooping to one side. It's scary and monster-like, but it gives him a new dimension. Some reviews say he's even got a more sad, noble look on his face now. That's definitely a change from his usual empty stare, maybe even more unnerving. It leads us to wonder if Myers finally has some remorse for his actions too. It's been years and years of senseless violence and murder for him. Is this where he gets to reflect on it and maybe end this pattern? This movie does a great job of piquing your interest in the villain. After all, he did start out as a normal kid till it all went downhill. You don't get any answers here though. Some people might find this frustrating, but it's a staple of the Halloween franchise. The questions left unanswered just leave you wondering for more, and with each inevitable return, your heart races even faster. You definitely won't be bored while you watch Halloween Kills. From the way we see Laurie absolutely devastated, to the insane murders and chases in the movie, your eyes are going to be glued to the screen. After cementing Laurie's storyline as one about the nature of trauma, Halloween Kills takes it a step further. This time they're talking about a whole town plagued by a killer, what it's like to be associated as the town of a murderer who comes back each Halloween, all the losses and the grief. It's all here and it's burning with rage, which is probably why it gives the genre of thriller another edge. It's highly emotional and a roller coaster of a film. That's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on Halloween Kills? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.